Welcome to Ron's Amazing Stories, the podcast where every episode takes you on a journey through captivating tales, thrilling adventures, and unforgettable moments.
It's amazing.
From heart-pounding mysteries to inspiring true stories, we'll bring you narratives that spark your imagination and keep you on the edge of your seat. So sit back, relax, and get ready to explore the extraordinary. Because with Ron, every story is an amazing story.
That's amazing.
What's that you said?
Hello and welcome to the podcast. Well, if you're listening to this when the episode first drops, it's July. Across much of the world, people are trying to stay cool, hiding in the shade, running fans at full blast, and wondering if walking to the mailbox counts as an endurance sport. So I thought, why not we take a little vacation? Not to the beach, not to a tropical island. No, today we're heading in the opposite direction. We're going north. Way north. This week we're going to escape the heat. Yes, mind the pun. With 2 snowbound adventures that will have you reaching for a blanket rather than another glass of iced tea. Both of today's stories take place where winter isn't just an inconvenience, it's a force of nature. The kind of place where snow buries landmarks, the wind never seems to stop blowing, and getting lost isn't simply frustrating, it can be deadly. Most of us have probably been caught in a snowstorm at least once. Maybe you've been driving when the snow suddenly got so thick that you could barely see the road. Maybe you've stepped outside only to discover that every landmark had vanished under a blanket of white. Snow has a funny way of making the world seem both beautiful and a little bit frightening. Of course, if you're listening while sweating through another summer heat wave, all that may sound pretty appealing right now. But for now, settle in, imagine a cool breeze, the crunch of fresh snow beneath your boots, and the distant howl of the northern wind. Now let's get to those cool stories. Our first stop is one of radio's greatest adventure series, Escape. If you've listened to this program before, you already know that Escape loved putting ordinary people into extraordinary situations. One week, you'd find yourself stranded on a desert island. The next, you might be exploring a jungle, crossing a desert, sailing the high seas, or trekking through a frozen wilderness. The series had a remarkable talent for making the environment itself feel like another character. Nature just wasn't the backdrop. It was often the greatest danger of all. Today's story carries us deep into the frozen north during the gold rush. Tempers run hot even when the weather doesn't. And when one miner is thought to be dead, justice falls to the hands of men and women around him. But frontier justice doesn't always look like justice. And sometimes the line between guilt and innocent can disappear as quickly as footprints in the fresh snow. From the series Escape, here is Judgment Day at Crippled Deer, originally broadcast on June 24th, 1954.
Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of high adventure.
You are one of 4 people trapped in an isolated trading post somewhere in the Yukon territory. The blizzard outside making escape impossible. And you know that before the spring thaws release you, before you can leave this cabin behind you, one of your companions, by consent of the others, will be killed.
Listen now as Escape brings you Les Crutchfield's story, Judgment Day at Crippled Deer.
I think it most unlikely that you ever heard of Crippled Deer Crossing, and you would have great difficulty locating it on a map, even though the Yukon, for the most part, is vast and empty. Crippled Deer is a trading post, one sprawling pine log building, nothing more. But it's been my home and my business for 20 years now, and in the course of time I have grown fond of it, even grown fond of the bitter cruelty of the Great North. Yes, fond, too, of the long winters, snowbound, dark, when the trappers and miners have all gone outside, and we wait alone for the coming of spring. But of one such winter I am not fond. I still wake at times from dreaming of it, lie shuddering and fearful in the darkness. That was the winter of the black snow, when the horror came moaning on the wind and no man could look in another's eyes without shame and loathing and hate.
Listen, LeClaire. Listen to it. I know that sound and the gray skies and the black in the west. It's going to hit us before tomorrow morning.
Oh, it's close, all right. What do you think, Joe?
Many wolf track in snow last night. Much hunting. Bear now asleep. I think maybe one day, maybe 2, then big blizzard come.
All right, 2 days then. That's still cutting it too close. You ought to be here by now.
Real anxious, ain't you, Bella? Just can't wait. Honey, what's Marco got that we ain't got?
You wouldn't know, Higgins.
You would, though, wouldn't you, sweetheart?
At least he's got a civil tongue in his head. And he's also got a lot of things you'd give your right arm for, Higgins. He knows how to laugh and live and how to make other people laugh and live.
I'll bet he does.
And he knows how to treat a woman.
Yeah, any woman the way I hear it.
You shut that mouth of yours right now or I'll make you wish you had.
You will.
Higgins, in a day or 2 now the blizzard comes, close the trails, and we here, then all of us together the rest of the winter, here this one building, no way to get out. I tell you once and for all, I will not have this kind of feeling.
Then let him shut up.
Can't take a joke.
That's enough, Higgins. He's got a right to be worried. I'm worried myself. Marco and Blakey don't have enough grub up there. If they get snowed into that mine, they can't possibly last out the winter. And that blizzard is close. Should have come down by now.
I was just funning her, LeClaire. Sorry, Belle.
Then watch what you're saying.
Don't worry. They'll make it all right. Why, Marco Moore knows more about this country and the weather than most people. No talk. Hear sound.
Well, what is it, Joe?
Dog team. Sled coming.
Marco. Must be Marco and Blakey.
Where's those binoculars? Maybe we can see them when they come through the gap, huh?
Higgins, help me open the window.
Might not be them, Belle. Could be Robertson.
Not him. He's too smart a Mountie to get snowed in this far from Dawson. Come on, push.
All right, here. Let me see now. It's nearly too dark to... Hey, there's a sled, all right, coming out of the gap.
It's them. It is them, isn't
I
it?
can't quite make... No, it's only one man.
A Mountie.
No, not Robertson. It's Blakey. But Marco is not with him.
What?
Blakey coming in alone.
Alone?
2 partner go. 1 come back very bad.
No, shut up, Joe. Don't pay any attention to him, Belle. Marco is all right.
He better be. For Blakey's sake, he better be.
You know, they've been partners 3 seasons now, Bell. There's no reason to think anything is wrong.
You look dog team, lead dog. Marco's dog.
What?
He's right. He's that big husky with a white star. Marco got him 2 years ago.
Start up the man, gents. Bring out the girl. Blakey's back.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Prodigal son, gents. Starved for a fatted calf and maybe a glass of 2 rye whiskey.
Blakey.
Well, LeClaire, uglier than ever. Indian Joe, what do you have in the tribe, huh? Oh, Higgins, look at that paunch. And Belle. Sweetheart, you make up for all of them. Gorgeous.
Blakey, where's Marco?
Marco? Well, ain't he here yet?
Should he be?
Well, he pulled out a few days before I did. I stayed on till yesterday working the claim. Of course, he might have stopped off someplace.
Where? Stopped off where?
Well, maybe at Jackson River. The factor at the post there's got a pair of mighty pretty daughters, Belle.
You better get your dogs out of harness, Blakey, and get your stuff inside. It may start snowing.
Yeah, looks like it's building up a good one.
Say, Blakey, that lead dog there, he's new, ain't he?
Why, I guess you could call it that. That's Marco's dog. Marco traded with me. He figured I'd be running closer to the storm, so I'd need a better lead dog than he would, so he traded with me.
I see.
You see what? What's this all about? You act like it's a matter of life and death.
The 4 of us talked it over while Blakey was unpacking his sled. It didn't add up. We agreed on that. At least it didn't add up the way Blakey was claiming. He was a born liar, we knew that, and Marco should have been at the trading post by now, even if he had stopped off at Jackson River. When Blakey came in, we ate, and then we waited some more. Still no sound of another dog sled or Marco.
Wind seems to be slacking off some. Blizzard ain't far off. Wind always slacks off first. Who's for a game of pinochle? What's the matter with all of you? You ain't spoke one decent word to me since I got here. Anybody think I was a wolf that sneaked in out of the woods or something? Well, why don't somebody say something?
How'd you get that bruise under your eye, Blakey?
How'd you get that bruise? You sit around and stare at me for a couple of hours, and then the only thing you can think of to say is, how'd you get that bruise?
What happened? Did you get in a fight with somebody?
I got the bruise from a rock.
But how?
I was working in the tunnel we drove. Some rock fell out of the roof, and a piece of it hit me. That's how I got it.
You're lying.
What's the matter with you, Belle?
You're lying, I said. You fought with Marco. That's how you got it.
I ain't fought with nobody. Why would I fight with him? We was partners.
Was, Blakey?
I mean, are. We still are.
What did you fight about, Blakey?
Nothing. We didn't fight about nothing.
You gotta have some reason, Blakey. Partners don't start fighting over nothing.
I mean, we wasn't fighting. Look, I don't know why Marco isn't here. I ain't his mother. Maybe he changed his mind. He said he was going to be here. That's all I know about it.
Then why isn't he? He left before you did. You said so yourself. Where is he, Blakey?
I don't know. What's the matter with all of you? You think I killed him or something?
Yeah.
What?
That's right, Blakey. We think maybe you killed him.
Oh, come off of it. You're out of your mind. You're kidding. That's what it is, a joke, huh? Me killing old Marco. That's a laugh for you.
You're gonna tell us about it, huh?
About what? There ain't nothing to tell. Now, look, if I had done something, why would I come straight here where you're all friends of his, where you're expecting him?
Where else would you go?
Well, to Jackson River.
They don't have room to put a man up.
All right, I could head for Dawson or south to Whitehorse.
Storm too close, no time. Here only place.
All right, answer me one thing. Why? Why do you think I'd kill him?
Show him, LeClaire.
Yeah. This might be the reason, Blakey.
You've been going through my stuff. You got no right.
We did it anyway. Now, what about this?
I was going to tell you about that. I figured I'd wait and make it a kind of surprise.
Surprise.
It's rich quartz, Blakey. Must have opened up quite a pocket.
It's the richest lode between here and Mackenzie Bay.
Not rich enough for two?
Marco didn't even know about it. I stumbled onto it after he'd already left. That's why I was keeping it for a surprise.
These two, Blakey? Were you keeping these for a surprise? I gave him those gloves and that writing tablet. And I knitted that pair of socks last winter.
Well, he told me to pack up anything he'd missed, bring it along. That proves he was figuring to come here.
Why?
Well, look, I know you're worried about Marco and all.
Do you?
But you're thinking the wrong way, all of you. You're all wrong. You're mixed up.
You're saying you didn't kill Marco, but you ain't saying it very good.
Joe, show him what you found in the sled.
You got no right to bother my things.
This.
That's your knife, Blakey?
It was a fox. I shot it on the trail. Skinned it for the dogs. That's how the blood got on it.
You skinned fox. What'd you do with skin?
I left it. I'm a miner, not a trapper. I don't know anything about skins. Now look, the whole bunch of you. I'm getting fed up with this. Questions, accusing me. What do you think you are, a court of some kind? I don't have to answer anything. I ain't on trial. I'm going to turn in.
Next morning, the barometer dropped again, and we knew that blizzard would hit any minute. All that day, we sat huddled around that wood stove, not talking, just thinking about Marco and Blakey. And just after dark, Blakey went outside to settle his dog team. By the time he came back in, we decided.
What are you all staring at?
Blakey, we're going to give you a trial.
A trial for what?
Jury of your peers. That's the only law we got. That's all we're likely to have till spring. Robertson bypassed us. He got on through to Dawson to beat the blizzard. It's just you and us, Blakey.
You're crazy. You ain't the law.
If you got anything to say in your own defense, any explanation...
I ain't doing no more talking. You can't do nothing to me.
Whatever you say, Blakey.
Let's vote. Get it over with.
If he won't talk, there ain't no use asking him anything else. I say he killed Marco.
1 vote guilty.
2. Of course he did it.
Joe?
He killed.
That's 3 guilty, and mine makes 4. That's unanimous, Blakey.
And just what do you aim to do about it?
Well, we got to decide.
Well, I'll decide for you. You ain't gonna do nothing. And you know why? Because of this.
Grab him, Joe.
Hold it. Now, don't none of you move. Looks a little different now, don't
Put it down, Blakey. That rifle won't get you out of this.
It won't, huh? Well, I'd say it's made some changes already. 4-1. You felt mighty big, didn't you? Well, how do you feel now? Things is kind of even up a little, ain't they?
You can't hold us at gunpoint all winter.
I ain't figuring to. I'm getting out of here. And none of you better try to stop me.
Where are you planning to go?
That's my business. But I sure ain't going to stay around here no longer. Now, all of you, stay right where you are.
He's crazy. Where could he get to?
Nowheres, maybe, but he ain't thought that far. All he knows right now is he's going to get away.
Well, what are you going to do about it?
Get your rifles. We go after him.
You are listening to Judgment Day at Crippled Deer, tonight's presentation of Escape.
Tracking down a fellow man is not a pleasant thing, even though he's crazed with fear. But there was no choice. The 4 of us stood a moment longer looking at the door that had slammed shut behind Blakey, and then...
Ready?
Yeah. Yeah, let's get it over with. Come on.
Don't let him get away.
Joe, you see, can you pick up his trail?
He couldn't have got far. He ain't had enough time. Here.
What?
Tracks start here. Come. It's pitch dark to me. How can you see any tracks? Me see. Come.
He seems to be heading back up the trail.
On foot, without even snowshoes. He's out of his mind.
Guilt and fear, they do funny things to a man.
Leave trail now. Turn this way. Into the woods. Come.
Run. Get away from them. That's all he could think about there in the cabin.
Crazy. Clean out of his senses.
Go on back. Stay away from me.
He's holed up in that storage shed up on the creek bank. I saw the flash.
Why don't we leave him there? Let him get snowed in. Let him starve.
No. When a man begins to starve, he gets dangerous. He has that rifle, and there's a whole case of ammunition in that shed. He could hang around the cabin and pick us off one at a time.
Me go. Me bring him.
You think you can slip up on him, Joe?
You talk. Shoot guns. Make noise. I go.
Blakey!
Get out of here. Going back to the post.
Maybe this'll shake him up a little.
You're wasting your time. I got cover and you ain't.
A dirty murderer. I'll blast him out of there if it's the last thing I do.
Hold it. You might hit the Indian. Why don't you tell us about it, Blakey? About Marco. Get it off your chest. Where did you bury him?
I didn't bury nobody.
You mean you left him for the wolves?
You don't stop saying that, I'll get every last one of you before.
Hey, Joe must have got inside.
You come now. Everything all right. No trouble. You come.
All right. Let's go get him. We dragged him back to the post. We tied his hands together behind his back and locked him in one of the bunk rooms. Then we sat, the four of us. We didn't say much. Not looking at one another, knowing what we had to decide, putting it off as long as we could. And then it was Belle, who had been in love with Marco and was ready not to go to pieces any minute, finally brought it out in the open.
We can't sit here and put it off all winter. We got to decide what we're going to do. Get it over with.
I suppose you're right.
You know I'm right. What's the matter with all of you? What are you afraid of?
It's a big responsibility, Belle.
Not from me. Maybe you can feel sympathy for him, but I don't. He don't even count. 100 of him would make up for Marco.
Perhaps you're right, Belle, but what I was thinking, storm ain't hit yet, and as long as there's a chance Robertson will still come, well, maybe we ought to wait and leave it to him. After all, he's a law. It's his job.
Redcoat no come now. Blizzard too close. He go very fast to Dawson. No one spend winter here.
Joe is right. We can't figure on turning Blakey over to the police. Robertson's already probably in Dawson. And we can't try to keep him prisoner clear through the winter. I guess we all agree on that.
You know what I agree on.
So I guess we better make up our minds, huh?
Mine's made up now. You know that.
Yes, I know that, Belle.
Love, my people say, man who kill friend must die always.
I don't know, LeClaire. Killing a man in a fight or a battle when you're crazy mad, that's one thing. But doing it in cold blood like this, well, it ain't easy to face it. It ain't the same.
I guess we all feel that way about it. None of us want to do it. It looks to me like we don't have much choice.
We don't, and the sooner the better.
I don't know. The Mountie might still come.
Make up your mind, Higgins. If you're afraid, say so.
Well, it ain't that.
You agree with the rest of us then, or don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, it's settled then. Well, we might as well get it over with, huh?
How are you thinking to do it, LeClaire?
Well, hanging, that's the usual way, I guess. That roof pole outside the front of the cabin, we could take him up on the roof and tie the other end of the rope to that pole. And then make him Step off.
How much of a fall does it take?
I only seen it done once down in the States.
Wouldn't do to have it go wrong. No call for him to suffer any more than this.
No, we do careful. We plan it all out.
Stop talking about it and do it. Do it and get it over with.
We're going to, Belle.
Well, get on with it.
Oh, Joe, get a ladder up against the eaves out there, huh? Higgins and me, we cut a piece of rope.
Good.
No, I guess we better tell him.
Hang me? You've decided to hang me?
Blakey.
You don't even know what you're saying. People don't sit down and decide they're going to hang somebody and expect to get away with it. You can't take the law into your own hands.
You're just making it harder for us, Blakely.
Harder for you? I'll make it harder for you when Robertson shows up.
Robertson ain't gonna show up.
You're out of your minds.
We gonna have to drag you, Blakey?
You'll drag nobody. I'll walk. See just how far you're planning to go with this.
All right, we go out through the main room.
Belle, you know what they're figuring to do?
Yeah.
Well, do something. Stop them. You're a woman, Belle. You're different.
I wish there were 10 of you, Blakey, so they could hang you 10 times instead of once.
Belle.
Get him out of here. Take him out and get it over with.
Yeah, come on.
She's crazier than the rest of you. It's all crazy, like a nightmare.
Watch your step, LeClaire. That crust is freezing. It's slick.
Yeah.
Like it ain't real. It really happening. Not to me, anyway.
You know, that wind has died down some.
Always does just before the blizzard hits.
All right, Blakey. Climb up on the roof.
Roof?
Yeah.
And you climb the ladder, or you want us to help you?
I can climb.
You go up there by the ridgepole, Blakey, up there where Joe is standing.
Yeah, better let me help you. A lot of snow on the roof. Ain't easy with your hands tied that way.
All ready, rope tied. Everything ready.
Oh. Well, might as well we get on with it, huh?
Maybe you better tie it around his neck, LeClaire.
Huh?
You seen it done once.
If I can remember. Hey, Blakey, come stand closer to the edge here, huh?
Careful, LeClaire. It's dark. Don't slip.
Yeah, that's fine. Right there now.
Well, it's a joke, huh? That's what. You gents are just trying to scare me so we can laugh about it afterwards.
Hold still, Blakey.
A joke.
Hold still.
A real good joke.
All right, that's time.
That's very funny.
Well, looks like we're ready.
Yeah. Well, you got any last words, Blakey? I guess you better say them now.
You jump now.
Joe.
You jump.
Stop pushing.
You jump now!
We went inside. We left him swinging there, figured to take him down in daylight and bury him. I opened a bottle of brandy and we drank some fast in gulps. We needed it because it wasn't easy to do it. Not in cold blood that way. It didn't change much either when we stopped to think about it. It didn't bring Marco back to life, killing Blakey. Even Belle, who was crazy for revenge, was feeling sick. Then we got to thinking about Robertson, too, how he never missed stopping by before on his last trip out to Dawson. And then Joe heard it.
Dogs. Here, dogs. Sled come.
Robertson.
I told you we ought to wait. Now we're in for
We
it.
gotta do something. We gotta think of something to tell him, make up a story.
What, with Blakey still hanging out there? What story?
But we gotta do something.
All we can do is tell him the truth and hope he sees it the way we did. He's an old-timer in the North. He'll understand.
We'll make him understand. He'll be snowed in with us here. All us together for the rest of the winter. We'll make him understand.
We did right. At least we know it. I think he will.
Got a steak and a drink for a hungry man? Well?
Marco!
Why all the surprise? I promised you I'd be here, didn't I, Belle? Stopped over a couple of days in Jackson River. Dang near got snowed in. Say, did Blakey make it all right? He was going to leave the mine a couple of days after I did.
Now that is an interesting story. One of the things I enjoy about Tales on the Frontier is how quickly communities have to come together. There aren't judges waiting in courthouses or juries selected from a long list of citizens. The people on the scene often have to decide what's right, what's fair, and what justice should look like. Whether they get it right? Well, as we saw, that's another question entirely. For our second feature, we're staying in the frozen north, but this time we're joining one of radio's most beloved heroes. Challenge of the Yukon was pure adventure. Week after week, Sergeant Preston of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, together with his faithful lead dog King, rode by sled across the vast Yukon territory, bringing law and order to places where help might be hundreds of miles away. The series combined mystery, action, and plenty of winter atmosphere. Snow-covered forest, frozen winters, dangerous storms were all part of a day's work for Preston and King. Today's adventure begins aboard a whaling ship when the captain discovers a drifting derelict. What he finds aboard shakes him to his very core. Then a fierce storm traps his own ship in the ice, setting the stage for yet another daring rescue. From Challenge of the Yukon, here's Icebound, originally broadcast on September 22nd, 1948.
The longboat from the whaler Maribel pulled in close to the shattered hulk piled up on Sullivan's Reef. Gordon, the bosun, shouted to Captain Osborne, who was seated in the stern.
It's the battered girl from Frisco, Captain. I know her well.
He must have piled up during that storm we had 2 weeks ago.
Right, sir. Not a sign of life.
Either the crew abandoned or was drowned. There's a rope ladder hanging down. I'm going to board her.
Aye, aye, sir. All together, men. Be ready to haul her off when we range alongside.
All right, boys.
A few minutes later, the captain was climbing up the frayed rope ladder that hung from the slanting deck. Gordon started to follow him.
Stay where you are, Gordon. Don't let that boat get rigged.
No, sir.
The captain was gone for nearly half an hour. And when he started down the rope ladder again, he was carrying a large metal box.
There you are, sir.
Shove off.
Aye, aye, sir. Shove off, men. Now pull. All together, pull. Keep her bow straight into those waves, Limey.
You don't have to tell me, Gordon.
Is that box all you found on board, sir?
Yes, it contains the ship's paper.
The captain left it behind?
I'll make my report to the proper authorities and not to you, Gordon.
Aye, aye, sir. Excuse me, sir. Pull. Look away into it, Jake. Pull.
When the longboat had returned to the Maribel, the whaler hoisted full sail and headed north in front of a fair breeze from the southwest. Richard Clark, the first mate, reported to the captain's cabin.
Who's there?
Clark, sir.
Wait a minute. Well, what do you want?
Permission to change our course, sir.
What for?
It's our duty to report the wreck of the Banner Girl, sir. If you have the ship's papers, we should put into St. Michael and turn them over to the port authorities.
As long as you're on board my ship, Mr. Clark, I'll inform you what your duty is.
Aye, aye, sir.
We're looking for whales, and when we find them, we'll put into port and not before. Well, if that's understood, you may return to your post.
Aye, aye, sir.
It was 2 days later that Yank shouted down from the crow's nest.
Is it whale, sir? Or Yank just seeing things? It's a whale, all right. I can see him. You'll be trimming sail and changing our course, sir. Hold her steady, Limey. I'll have to report to the captain first.
But when the mate reported to the captain...
Now, Mr. Clark, we will not change our course.
Sir, it's a whale, I'm sure that...
We will find our whales to the north. You will not change the course until you receive my command to do so.
But, sir,
That will be all, Mr. Clark.
Aye, sir.
There was no explanation for the captain's refusal to take after the whale, and the crew became extremely uneasy when other whales were sighted and they were passed by as well. The Maribel sailed on to the north. Where was the ship heading? It had passed through the Bering Sea and had entered the Bering Straits. One night, Gordon knocked on the door of Mr. Clark's cabin.
Come in.
Mr. Clark, I'd like a word with you.
Of course, Gordon.
Well, sir, it's the crew. I'm speaking for the lot of them. They'd like to know what's got into the captain, sir.
What do you mean?
We came out after whales, and he won't pay any attention to them. That is, he wouldn't when there was some chance of sighting them. Now we're too far north, and still we keep going. It's late in the year, Mr. Clark. This is no time to be driving into the Arctic Ocean.
I realize that, Gordon.
Well, can't you do something about it?
Well, I've talked with the captain. I'm sure I've said everything that's in the crew's mind.
Well, sir,
there's nothing to be done about it but continue to obey orders.
If the men could only be given some reason, sir.
Well, I haven't one. And the captain doesn't choose to give me one. That's all there is to it.
Aye, aye, sir.
Now the wind changed, and the Maribel fought against a nor'easter, past Cape Lisburne on to Point Barrow, the top of Alaska. And now at last the course was changed, east by south. But the new direction only meant that the ship was sailing on into the Arctic. The freezing wind from the north struck a chill into the hearts of the men.
Oh, I know what he's up to now. He's going to let the bloomin' ice freeze us in. He's going to keep us prisoners here all winter long.
He's gone crazy.
That's what I say. I've had enough of it, I have.
What are you going to do about it?
Oh, I'd do plenty if I had the power in your right arm, you big lummox.
Here, stow that talk, Lammy. There'll be no mutiny on board this ship while I'm boating.
I'm not talking about mutiny. I'm talking about a nice piece of murder. Now, let's get rid of the captain and have Mr. Clark sail us home before it's too late. Now, what do you say to that, Gordon?
Nothing, Lammy. You're just talking. But I'm afraid it's too late now.
And it was too late. The ice caught the Maribel in Mackenzie Bay, held her in an iron grip. Roaring blizzards whitened her spars and her hull until she seemed like a ship of stone, of crystal, shining like a jewel when the sun shone, but still a dead ship, a ship unable to move. That winter, Sergeant Preston was assigned to the Northwest Mounted Post on Hereford Island, the northern tip of the Yukon Territory on the shores of the Arctic Ocean. With the island as his base, he and the great dog King made many patrols into the frozen wilderness north of the Arctic Circle. He returned from one of them late in January. He was checking over the last of his reports on the Eskimos with Inspector Bradford when King started barking outside the barracks.
King want to come in? Judging from the tone of that bark, I think he wants me to come out. He certainly keeps you busy. You should pay him a salary, sir. What is it, King?
King barked and started away from the barracks. Then he stopped to see if his master was following.
All right, fella. Just as soon as I put on my parka.
The blizzard made it impossible to see more than a few feet ahead. But when the sergeant had joined King, the dog led him with unerring instinct, first to the shore of the island, and then for a quarter of a mile out into the white, trackless waste of the frozen ocean, straight to a snow-covered mound.
A man, King. A white man.
The sergeant brushed the snow aside and listened for a heartbeat. The man was still alive. It was Gordon, the boatswain of the Maribel, a big man, but the sergeant lifted him easily and carried him back to the barracks. There he was made to swallow some brandy. He was undressed and put to bed, and the frost-bitten portions of his hands and feet and face were treated. But it was late that evening before the sergeant and the inspector could be sure they had defeated death.
He should be coming to in a little while, sir. Yes. He's much better. You saved another life, King. You found no identification? Nothing, sir. That's from his clothing. He must be a sailor. Off some ships that's icebound in the Arctic. Inspector, he's opening his eyes. Yes.
Did I make it?
You're at the Northwest Mounted Police Post on Hereford Island. Where'd you come from?
Gordon, bosun, whaler Marybelle.
Icebound?
Yes. Off Point Markham.
That's nearly 100 miles. You came all that way on foot?
Am I the first?
If you mean, are you the first member of your crew to reach here? Yes. Were there others who started out with you?
No. Different times. The first was Jones. The day he shot the caribou when the captain wouldn't let the crew eat it. Put the meat with his stores. Jones left that night. He was the first, and none of them.
Take it easy, Gordon, easy.
He drove them to it. Cut rations, foggies, drove them.
That's enough. Don't try to talk anymore.
Yeah.
Here's the soup. I'll raise his head a little, Inspector. See if you can get him to take some. Come on, Gordon. Try to swallow this.
Good.
Some more?
Sure.
The bosun was fed, and immediately afterward he fell into a deep sleep. The sergeant and the inspector talked quietly as they watched him.
Will you assign me to the case, Inspector?
Why, you've just come in.
The dog's is fresh. Of course, King never tires, do you, boy?
What about yourself?
I'd like to go, sir. I'd like to find out what could drive men to face 100 miles of the Arctic Ocean in the dead of winter.
Well, you're the man for the job. But you'd better wait until Gordon wakes up and can give you more information.
I'll get my supplies ready, sir. One, King.
The sergeant went to work. At 8 o'clock the next morning, he was ready to start. And Gordon described the position of the ship as well as he could. Then...
You won't find many of them left. Those who died and those who tried to make it here. There was just the captain and Mr. Clark and Limey and Yank when I left. Maybe you'll find only the captain. I warn you, Sergeant. Something's happened to him. Something's gone wrong.
We'll find out, Gordon, and we'll do our best to help your friends. One, King.
It was 8 o'clock in the morning, but it would still be night in the Arctic for another 3 hours. And as King took his place at the head of the team and the sergeant stepped on the running board of the sled, the only light came from the stars and the northern lights. The blizzard was over, and yet the trackless miles ahead were beset with danger and death. The sergeant gave the command to hit the trail.
On King, run!
Even with King breaking the trail, it took the sergeant nearly 3 days to reach Point Larkin, and still another before he saw the icebound ship. It was midnight. The aurora had left the sky to the cold and distant stars. There was no wind, and the silence was intense. The sergeant didn't want to announce his coming to the men on board the ship, so he called out an order to King.
Keep the scene quiet, boy.
A growl from King was enough, and not once during the last half mile did the dogs bark. When the sergeant stepped on the brake, King needed no command to stop.
Good boy, King. No one's heard us. I'll unharness the team and feed them and see about getting aboard.
Even as the team was fed, King maintained his discipline and refused to let them make a sound. They ate their ration of frozen fish and burrowed in the snow to sleep. But King stayed by his master's side as he circled the ship.
There's a light coming from that photo forward. Must be the crew's headquarters. I want to talk to them before I talk to the captain. Rope ladder hanging down from the deck. Looks like you'll have to stay here. Don't you like the idea, boy? Well, on second thought, I might be able to carry you up. Let's try it. Oh, you're ahead of him, King. Let's go.
With King under one arm, the sergeant climbed the ice-crusted rope ladder to the deck.
Now forward, boy.
When the forward hatch was reached, the Mountie found it closed and impossible to open. He knocked on it.
Who's there?
Open up.
Is that you, Captain Osborne?
Sergeant Preston, Northwest Mounted Police.
Northwest Mounted? Oh, blimey, what have Her Majesty done? Yeah, stepped on into our castle, Sergeant. Blimey, what say you got with you, Wolf?
My lead dog. Mind if he comes down with me?
Close that hatch, Limey. Aye, sir.
One, King.
Sergeant, you're both as welcome as the flowers in May. How do you come to be here? Don't tell me one of the boys might have turned from Ireland.
Gordon made it.
Who's that with you, Lammy?
Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police, Mr. Clark. Gordon made it to Hereford Island.
Oh, it's good news. I'm glad to see you, Sergeant. Have you talked with the captain?
No, to tell the truth, Mr. Clark, I wanted to talk to the surviving members of the crew first. I didn't expect to find the first mate in the forecastle.
I've been living here for 2 months, Sergeant.
Huh? How does that happen?
Well, the captain had all the ship's stores moved into my cabin. It was next to his.
Close, so's he could keep an eye on it.
There was plenty of room here, but...
He's one of us, Mr. Clark is, and no matter what Gordon says, you can talk free and easy with him, Sergeant.
I'm glad of that. I want to know what's happened to this ship.
There's been a curse laid on it. And the curse is known as Captain Osborne.
I'd like a few more details, Mr. Clark.
Gordon must have told you a great deal.
Yes. You passed by every whale you sighted. You kept sailing north, long after you should have turned south.
Captain's orders.
And after the ice closed in, the harsh treatment and half rations made one man after another desert.
5 of them died, Sergeant. They're buried out there.
I see.
There were 6 who deserted.
Couldn't you have stopped them?
Not unless I put them in irons. 11 dead.
Not Gordon, bless him.
And perhaps not some of the others. There are a number of Eskimo villages on the shores of the bay, and they may have found shelter there. We'll find out. Now, what about Yank? Gordon said he was still here.
He is, in his bunk.
Poor blighter.
He's ill?
He has been. His fever's down. We only had some proper
Bully
food.
beef and hardtack. You can't expect some man to get well on that, Sergeant.
There's nothing else on board?
Not that the captain will give us.
And what about the caribou Jones shot?
He probably ate all that himself.
Canned goods, mister?
Well, I haven't seen a store since they were moved into my cabin.
Well, I'll see them. Gordon says the captain's crazy. What do you think, Mr. Clark?
It's perfectly rational. Well, something's wrong. He's accountable for everything that's happened on this voyage. He must realize he'll have to answer to the owners and a board of inquiry.
Not if he kills us all off and there's no one to testify against him. He can say there was a mutiny.
No matter what he says, we'll be through. He'll never get another command. Why should he throw away his career? For what? I won't say crazy, Sergeant. There's something wrong.
And has been, Mr. Clark. Ever since he went aboard the wreck of the Banner Girl and pinched that box of papers.
Box of papers?
Banner Girl wrecked on Sullivan's Reef.
The captain went aboard and came off with a box. He said it contained the ship's papers.
Have you seen them, Mr. Clark?
No. I told him they should be delivered at the first port we could make. But I was overruled.
I'm interested. I'm ready to talk with the captain now. Will you come with me?
Be glad to.
You'd better stay here, King.
Well, that's right. You stay here and keep me company.
Yank's asleep. He won't need anything for a while, Lammy.
Aye, sir. And Sergeant?
Yes, Lammy.
Give it to him good.
The sergeant and Mr. Clark climbed the hatchway to the deck and made their way aft. A few moments later, the sergeant was meeting Captain Osborne. His reception was unfriendly.
What do you mean, sir, coming aboard this ship without permission? I have business with you, Captain. Then state it and be done with it quickly. You're anchored in Mackenzie Bay and are therefore subject to the police regulations of the Northwest Territory. What's that? Surely you know where you are. We're in the Arctic Ocean. Consult your charts, Captain. If your navigation's been accurate, you'll find you're in Mackenzie Bay. What of it? I explained. None of your laws have been broken. I've been informed you have property in your possession that doesn't belong to you. That isn't true. The ship's papers of the Banner Girl, Captain. So you've been talking, Mr. Clark, yeah?
I've repeated your own statement, sir.
I'll take charge of the papers now, Captain. There are none.
But, Captain...
I repeat, there are none. Here. Here is the box I took from the Banner Girl. When I inspected it closely, I found that the papers it contained were nothing but worthless memoranda. I disposed of the trash, and I'm using the box now for my own personal correspondence. You can see for yourself, Sergeant. Yes, I shall report your action. As you wish. Well, then, if that's all... It isn't. The Northwest Mounted Police are authorized customs officials in this territory. I want to look at your cargo. We have no cargo. And your stores. My stores? Yes, Captain. You won't find many. Mr. Clark can show you where the storeroom is. I know where it is. May I have the key to the next cabin? Certainly not. You refuse to submit to customs inspection? There's nothing to interest you in the next cabin. I'll decide that for myself. Well, if you're going to be obstinate, all right. I'll unlock the door for you. Come along. Better bring the lamp, Mr. Clark.
Right, Sergeant.
There you are.
Here's the lamp, Sergeant.
You can can see, there's nothing contraband in here. That's frozen meat, isn't it? Yeah. Canned goods, white flour, potatoes. You could use some of this to feed that sick man in the forecastle, couldn't you, Mr. Clark?
I most certainly could, Sergeant.
You'll allow him to take what he needs, won't you, Captain?
No, I won't. My word is final concerning the distribution of stores on this ship, and I say
Just a moment, Captain. No one argues the fact that you control the stores. But because of that, you're responsible for the lives of the men on board. You're responsible for Yank's life. If he dies and it's proved that you had the means to prevent his death, the jury might call it negligent homicide.
Utterly ridiculous.
I'm going to stay here until Yank recovers or dies. I'm going to observe the treatment he receives. If he dies, I shall consider it my duty to place you...
Clark.
Yes, sir.
Take what you need for the sick man. From now on, the responsibility for his care is yours. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
Are you satisfied, Sergeant?
For the time being.
Then I have a question. How did you happen to come here?
Gordon made it to Hereford Island. It seemed that help was needed.
I see. That's all I wanted to know. When you've finished in here, Mr. Clark, return the key to me.
By the time the sergeant and Mr. Clark returned to the forecastle with fresh supplies, King was finding the heat from the cherry red stove too much for him, and the sergeant let him out on deck. He burrowed in the drifting snow, but although he was tired, he didn't sleep. There was something about this strange, silent ship that made him uneasy. And when he saw a man come up on deck toward the stern of the ship, he growled in his throat. There was something furtive in the man's actions, and even if he could have known what the man was thinking, King's sense of danger couldn't have been more acute. The captain leaned over the railing and stared at the sled and sleeping dogs below him.
Game's up, huh? No chance to get rid of these other three with a Mountie watching over them. Gordon's already safe. Safe to testify I took the box from the Banner girl. He doesn't know what was in it, but the owners do. There's only one way to keep all that money for myself. Escape and disappear. And there's only one way to escape. That dog team down there. I have a compass. I can make it to Aklavik, get fresh dogs, and drive south. Yeah, I'll wait until the Mountie and the others are sleeping. But when I try to harness that team, they'll break. They'll wake the Mountie up unless you can't wake up. Yeah, it's the only way. Kill them all.
The captain descended to his cabin. From underneath the mattress of his bunk, he took a money belt. And by the light of the lamp, he counted the yellow back bills it contained.
$50,000. And mine if I can only get away.
The captain waited. A new thought came to him.
Before I leave, burn the ship. They'll think I died, too. Start with a new name. A new name and $50,000. $50,000.
3 hours passed. The captain checked his revolver and climbed to the deck. He leaned over the railing and made sure there was no light shining from the forecastle porthole. The time had come. He started silently toward the bow of the ship. King, almost completely buried in the snow, was watching. He could see the glint of metal in the man's hand, and he knew that he was carrying a gun, the weapon that hurt his ears and filled his nostrils with an acrid, biting sting, the weapon that could produce red-hot pain. An old wound in his shoulder throbbed and heightened his sense of danger. The man was almost on top of him. He sprang to his feet, blocking the path.
The dog. Get out of my way, you what? Here's one way to take care of you.
The captain leveled the gun and fired. But King had leaped aside behind the shelf of the hatchway. Captain fired again. A shot that splintered wood. By now the dogs were awake and barking. Sergeant Preston came charging up the hatchway. The captain whirled and fired at him. The shot went wide. But the sergeant fired and caught the captain in his arm. He turned and ran. The first part of his plan had failed. But in his twisted brain there still seemed a chance of success. To carry out the second part of his plan. To fire the ship. He plunged down the companionway toward his cabin and wrenched open the door. The oil lamp, still lighted, was on the table. The captain grabbed it and smashed it to the floor. Flames shot up, and the captain turned to run, but King was blocking the door.
No. Nothing's going to stop me.
With his left hand holding the gun, he fired. Once more, the bullet missed its mark. The captain's strength was gone. The gun slipped from his fingers, and he sank to the floor, clutching his right arm. A second later, the captain, Sergeant Clark, and Rimey were in the cabin, stabbing out the flames. And half an hour later, the captain was lying in his own bunk, his arms set and bandaged, and sleeping under the influence of a sedative. But his delirious talk and the bulging money belt had revealed the whole story.
He wanted the whole 50,000 for himself. He didn't care how many lives he sacrificed to get it.
Yes, he hoped we'd all desert or die.
We might have if it hadn't been for you, Sergeant.
If it weren't for Gordon, I wouldn't be here. And if it weren't for King, none of us would be alive.
That's right, Sergeant. The hatch wasn't bolted. The captain could have crept down the forecastle without a sound.
I knew King was on guard.
Courage, brains. It's a wonderful dog.
You've proved yourself again, King. It's thanks to you, boy, this case is closed.
Those were two very different stories, but they shared something important. In both, the cold wasn't just part of the scenery, it shaped every decision that the characters made. The snow slowed them down, isolated them, and constantly reminded them that nature always has the final say. It's funny how our perspective changes with the seasons. In the middle of the winter, we dream about sunshine and warm beaches. Then July arrives, the thermometer climbs higher and higher, and suddenly a snowbank sounds pretty inviting. There's an old saying that it's easier to warm up than it is to cool down. After listening to today's adventures, I'm not completely sure the folks in the story would agree. But sitting comfortably inside on a hot summer's day, well, it's not a bad thought. The nice thing is that seasons always keep moving. Before long, the days will be getting shorter, the evenings getting a little cooler, and somewhere far to the north, those cold winds will start gathering once again. And that brings another adventure to an end. I hope these two chilly tales gave you a welcome break from the summer heat, if only for a little while. Sometimes the best kind of vacation doesn't require packing a suitcase. It's just a comfortable chair, a little imagination, and a couple of wonderful old-time radio stories. As always, thank you for spending part of your day with me. Whether you're staying cool indoors, traveling, working in the yard, or simply relaxing, I appreciate you making Ron's Amazing Stories part of your week. Until next time, keep your cocoa hot, your parka handy, just in case, and remember that every season has its own stories waiting to be told. Until next time, I'm Ron, and this has been Ron's Amazing Stories. Stay amazing! That was episode number 742, and it was brought to you by Audible. Head to audibletrial.com/Ron's Amazing Stories and get yourself a free audiobook today. You help the show if you do it. Thank you, Audible. If you want to follow the podcast or the blog, head to ronsamazingstories.com. There you will find any of the links that I mentioned and how to contact us. Do you want to help the show? The best thing you can do is to tell your friends all about us and leave reviews and comments wherever you listen. Clicking that follow or like button helps us grow. Thank you for listening, and I hope you come again to find out what are Ron's Amazing Stories.
All of the vintage audio used in the podcast is believed to be in the public domain. Ron's Amazing Stories does not own the rights to any of the old-time radio used here. If you hold the rights to any of the shows played, please contact us immediately at ronsamazingstories.com.